I've not used this before, so I'm just trying it out.
Hey man, it's been too long since we sat down and that just feels wrong. Allow me to give my head a shake, open my eyes and fix a mistake. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we'll hit pause and then hit a rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly. Hey buddy, no strangers here. These times I hold them dear. My door's open, so come on in. This was great, let's do it again. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we'll hit pause and then hit rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we'll hit pause and then hit rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly.
Yo, Joe, or Cobra. Actually, it's neither, technically, because we're talking about a dreadnought today. Nate knows absolutely nothing about the dreadnoughts and probably knows very little about the character we're talking about today, which is Road Pig. Now, this is the show that we talk about, G.I. Joe. It's a real G.I. Joe show. We call it Oh Ring a Bell. It's a clever play on words, I admit. And basically what it is we're going to have a look at a single G.I. Joe character and figure out if Nate recognizes it or does it oh ring a bell. So I'm going to bring on my mate Nate right after this quick Road Pig introduction.
What a rush! We snack on danger and we dine on death. Tell 'em, dude!
Well, detached retinas, deviated septums, internal hemorrhaging, torn cartilage. These are the things which dreams are made of, and our dreams are your nightmares. Ain't that right, warrior?
We're off to imitate it, but never duplicate it.
No one can take us on.
Whoa, looks like at least one person can take him on. How are you, Nate?
I'm pretty excellent. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm pretty excellent myself. We can go on an excellent adventure together.
That sounds excellent.
Right? Perfect. Hey, Road Pig, does he ring a bell so far?
Only so far as I've seen that video before on your social medias.
Right. I show him off as often as I can.
Nothing about it, and I intentionally do not research this stuff.
Yeah, I hate homework as well. Images are provided by 3D Joes. That little clip you just saw was part of the Slaughterhouse Wrestling Championship. The voice of those two characters was Janetti and Andy. Thank you for doing the voices for that. I think it was almost like a year and a half or 2 years ago now, that episode. I really got to get going on that boxing episode. I'm getting there. All right, so we'll have a quick go at the Clubhouse roll call, and then we'll say hello to the chat. If you want to be part of the Clubhouse roll call, all you have to do is be a channel member or a Patreon supporter. And right now, we've got two awesome shows that are for Patreon only and members only. And it's going to be, the next one will be Crash and Burn with our friend Crash. So if you're a member, you can tune in to those live. We have Wilhelm, Toy and Hobby, Casey Wheeler, Handsome Man, Ratface 44 Reviews, David, Samuel Blaine. Hey, it's the Retro Tinker. That's my mate, Nate. Cindy K, Sonny's Sundries, Jonathan Sorensen, Happy Accident, Joshua Allen, Adam from Go Figure. We also have Scuba Pete, Phil, Treasures for Trigger, Hans Chow kicking that door in, Ken's Poe? No, it's just Ken Poe, Brandon Haley, Jason Clark, Titanium Princess, Grindhead Jim, and Space Commander. And not to forget our members, Cindy K, Gaz, Beta Ray Bob, Spacey, Jason Stillwell, It's Chad, Ryan Sweeney, Keep on Collecting, who I have a feelings in the chat right now, and Crash. Good to see you. All right, let's say hello to the chat real quick. Let's see who's here today. Don't forget to leave a like. Oh, it's my son. It's my son, Josh. How are you, Josh? Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. I've got a feeling that none of this is going to ring a bell for you, buddy. TJC, how are you, bud? Good to see you. Good morning or good evening from us. My brother Nodsy here, smoked pulled road pig with a side of fluoro slaw. Is he an Aussie? That's the big question that needs answering. There was a comment earlier that's disappeared that said, just look at the file card. Yeah, we'll get there. We're going to get there. It's a slow burn. Kimbo's here. Hello, Kimbo. Good to see you. I thought he was here. How are you, mate? G'day, Nate. Finally catching one of these live. Oh, good. Great to have you here, buddy. That's the best father-son people on the on YouTubes. Check them out. Rolando Flores. That joke's probably getting old for you guys that keep on collecting. So far, so good. Planet Decepticonicus. Hey. And WJ. Oh, he's WJ. I'm not going to pull that comment up. All right, because it's spoiler alert. We're getting there. It was actually WJ's comment earlier. It was saying, check out the file card. WJ, good to see you. Close your eyes for a minute, Nate. Close your eyes. We'll pull up this comment. Good to see you, WJ. No spoilers. No spoilers.
Can I look at
Master, you can look again. Master Versal Toy Hunter, how are you, bud?
Eldor?
Joe Fan 84, how are you? It's 3 a.m. Just wanted to say, hey, I'm going back to bed. That's a good idea. 3 a.m. Oof. I'm only up for my 3 a.m. snack. Catch you on the replay. Hey, where in the world are you from, Joe Fan? If you're still around, let us know. Where is it 3 a.m. currently? I need to get a mouse. Did I say that every time? Oh, gee. Old man Zay is trying to work a laptop. Nice cross promo. Thanks, Phil. I'm trying to get as many eyes on there as I can. Marty Janetti? No. Janetti Rametz. Good fella. Am I missing anyone? I think I'm caught up. Lots of chat happening here. He's from Alabama. Okay. Well, happy morning snack time in Alabama, my buddy. And thanks for tuning in. You can watch the Replay Brigade and tune in for more episodes there. We're going to do this as often as we can until we've gone through every single G.I. Joe character. I was like, that's a lot, Nate. And he's like, no, do it. I'm in. Yeah. I'm ready for it.
I mean,
and I was like,
committed.
all right. Committed?
It's my jam.
All right. So speaking of jam, I find that one of these versions of Road Pig looks a little bit like jam. It looks a bit like, what would you say, raspberry jam. Speaking of jam, PB&J with a glass of milk. Nice. I had a PB&J today. One of my favorite snacks, in fact. All right, Nate, are you ready to dive into O Ring a Bell?
Oh, yeah.
What do I need to do before I do that?
I don't know.
I think it goes a little something like this.
It's time for everyone's favorite educational program, Oh, Ring a Bell. Yay!
Yay! Aussie!
Oi!
Is he Aussie? We're about to find out. Now, this has quickly turned into a is he an Aussie, right? And the reason why I started with Road Pig is because I think that there is quite an Aussie connection there, whether he is or isn't Australian. But we're going to figure that out, right? We're going to figure that out along the way. It's also, because we're talking Dreadnoks, we might get a little history of the Dreadnoks. Dreadnoks? Yeah, we're going to get a little history of the Dreadnoks. But it's going to be in a roundabout kind of way because we're not starting with the original. Thanks, Kimbo. Yeah, nice. Cheers, mate. Now we're going like nearly to the end of the Dreadnought run. I don't know. I think maybe Road Pig was the last Dreadnought that they actually made. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that it doesn't quite ring a bell like it should. But I'm almost certain that Road Pig was the last, one of the last, if not the last, Dreadnoks in the line. So we're learning a little bit of the Dreadnoks backwards. So I could very easily just tell you who the Dreadnoks are, but then we're gonna learn about them along the way. So let's show off Road Pig. You're probably wondering why I've got two pictures of Road Pig in the top there on the thumbnail. Do you know why that is?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was wondering why you're referring to the two of them as Road Pig.
Right, and yet I had them as different characters in the SWC.
Curious as to why one's orange too.
Teddy Belcher 4K ultra wide 21.9. What's that mean? 21.9. That's inches. I don't know. Anyway, twisted all my limbs for you. I'm not sure what that means, but thanks for dropping in. Not sure what that means. Phil Norgahide was later, I think. Thanks, buddy. Now we know. We'll play that later. Otherwise, I'm going to be playing it all day. So there are two versions of Road Pig that we're looking at today, but I couldn't figure out which one I wanted for the thumbnail because I think that the second version is just, it's so wild that I couldn't not have him be a part of the thumbnail. We're going to find out all about it, though. Which one do you think came first?
The ordinary-looking one. The
ordinary-looking as Road Pig can?
Yeah.
You're right. Road Pig, Dreadnought. Now, look at that. Look at that guy. What do you think stands out the most?
He's got a cinder block hammer.
Yeah. Does he have a beard? Sadly, no.
And he looks like a Mad Max character.
He does look like a Mad Max character, which obviously would put him in great leagues to be an Aussie, in my opinion. Okay, Norgahide came after V1 Road Pig, so there was at least one more Dreadnought after this guy. So we've still got more to go. There's so many Dreadnoughts to go through. We'll get there eventually.
In actual fact, like he's the card art at least is a dead ringer for a bloke I used to work with.
Where was he from?
The Gold Coast.
Ring a ding ding, Johnny's turned up. How are you, bud?
Hey.
I want to know how we got the post to go through the center of the cinder block and not destroy that center. I'm no construction man.
It's a lot of patience with a bit of rebar. Just
slowly goes.
Yeah.
Do you think it's doable?
He broke about 20 of them before he got one.
Yeah, that's what I thought he was going to go with, but he went with the cinder block. It's a true Aussie man looking at the cinder block instead of the abs. Maybe a bit of both. Now, could you recreate that in real life, do you think? You're pretty clever.
I reckon I'd have a red hot crack.
It'd be pretty heavy, though. Do you reckon you could hold it with one hand like he does?
Not currently, not with the way my back is.
Don't you think the card art, he looks like a proud kid at show and tell, where he's like, I've got this and this.
Like
he is super happy with it.
He's 2 steps out his front door on Halloween.
He also has, you can tell just a little bit that he's got the, I wonder if I could just make this bigger. Why don't I ever do that? Nah, I don't want to mess around with it. I'll definitely mess it up. So he's got what looks like to be football pads on his shoulder. Yeah, Kimbo's got a great idea. Great idea.
Yeah.
Two great ideas.
He's the brains of this operation.
Right. Both in the running for the longest hair, though. He's got. Sorry, what was that?
So it alternates.
Does it? Okay. Whoever's feeling the strongest, like a Samson thing.
Yeah.
A wrist crossbow, strong fella. Probably bust an elbow firing that off. So he's got the sporting pads. He's got the wrist firing dart gun. He's got a couple of darts or arrows on his thigh there. That's where I'd like to keep him. Smart that the arrows are on the opposite side of where his wrist firing launcher is.
True.
But that is a menacing looking dude. I would not want to mess with that guy.
Yeah, no, he looks like he would pack a punch.
Yeah, and it'd be a sharp punch too. Let's take a closer look at him. So he also comes with I guess a shield, like a riot shield looking thing. Not really sure what that's called.
Is it hockey armor that he's got? Is that like
that could be it? That could be it. That could be it. I like the strip of red around his hair. He also, I don't know if you can tell, but he's got a tattoo of the anarchy symbol
Oh yeah, yep, on his bicep.
So if he wasn't Australian, you'd think maybe he'd be British and be a fan of the who were they called? What was that band called again?
The Clash
With Johnny Rotten. Who is Johnny Rotten the lead singer of? Why do I always forget things when I'm going live? Someone in the chat help me out here. That's right on the tip of my tongue. Johnny Rotten was Sex Pistols. No, was it? Sex Pistols?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it was Sex Pistols. It is Sex Pistols. Thank you, WJ. Perfect. For some reason, it sounded weird in my mouth when I said it. But yeah, cinder block in hand looks great. What are we thinking?
I think he's great. He's badass. He's roided out like for compared to like all the Joe figures that I've got. Like he's certainly a big boy.
I'll say this. Smart of him to, if you're going to weld around a giant cinder block on a stick, it was smart of him to have crotch protection and also shin protection.
Yeah.
Because that's, you could very easily take an ankle out with that thing. Probably still could with metal shin pads, but still.
Yeah.
I think he looks great.
Yeah, he's a cool figure.
Thunder Machines were vehicles of choice. Yeah, I know you just Googled Dreadnought something and came up with Thunder Machine. There's no way you know anything about the Thunder Machine.
He's been on the Wikipedia.
Yeah. All right. That's a good pull, Josh. That's a good pull. I'll give you that. But I know you don't know what that is. What kind of hockey puck requires a cinder block?
A big one.
And did he show up in the Deke series? Yes. I believe it was the second version that did, though. Actually, I'm glad you mentioned this. Was his face sculpt based on Gary Coleman? You can't unsee that. I will one-up you. I have a video to show, and tell me if you don't think he's Australian after I show this, okay? You ready for this?
I'm ready for this.
In one of these, and in one of these. One of these lasts 20% longer than a Duracell.
Two rights, the extraordinary energizer!
In one of these lasts 20% longer than a Duracell.
Two rights, the extraordinary energizer!
It'll surprise ya.
Independent tests prove Energizer lasts 20% longer than Duracell.
Prove it for yourself. Energizer. Oi!
Boy! Do you know who that is?
No idea.
I believe his name was Mark Jacko Jackson. Was it Mark Jackson? Jacko. Anyway, Jacko Jackson. He was a footy player, later on became the head of Energizer. And I think if Google is, oi, it tells me anything, is that, is he still alive? I'm not sure. Living legend if he is. I believe they were trying to capitalize on Crocodile Dundee's popularity by getting an Aussie.
He probably is still alive. Isn't it the Energizers that keep going and going?
And going and going. Exactly. He's fully energized. He also, if you just give me one moment, he actually did. He was so popular in the time that he actually did have his own action figure. Oi! He had his own action figure.
See, I've looked to find, like, were there any Australian action figures? And like, they're very few and far between.
No, I'm surprised Crocodile Dundee didn't have any. Hey, how are you, Daniel? Good to see you, bud. Saying hi to Rolando. I felt idiot. Well, he was no genius, but I'm sure he scale of that action figure. I have a feeling that it may have been the same scale as maybe the Rambo figures, but I'm not sure. I never owned one. Facebook user is here. I reckon this is Jacko. Jacko is tuned in to watch our show after hearing his advert come on. So welcome to the show, Jacko. Thanks for tuning in. Unless you're not, in which case, do let us know who you are.
We're going to get a cease and desist unless we cut him in on revenue.
Right, yeah. He can have all the sense that I make. They made a Steve Irwin figure. Oh, yes. I did not know that. So were you familiar with good old Jacko Jackson? Is it Mark? Is it Mark Jacko Jackson?
I do not remember that. It does not ring a bell.
It doesn't? It is Mark Jacko Jackson. Yeah, had his own action figure. So I cannot see anything other than Mark Jacko Jackson when I see this fella. So that's got to mean that he's Australian. Surely it would only need to say crikey. Yeah, I wonder if Jacko's figure. Yeah, it's him. I wonder if Jacko ever had a talking function that said "Oi." Yeah, that's got to be him. You can see that anarchy. Oh, the Lurthers here. How are you? Good to see you, bud. Thanks for tuning in. They played those ads in New Zealand too, apparently, says Johnny. So he's got that anarchy symbol there. You can see the tattoo. Interestingly, I'll show you a bit later. With version 2, they decided not to put that tattoo on him. So either version 2's version came out first in the timeline, not he came out later, but maybe he's a previous version of it, or some other things happened that he lost the tattoo. But it looks pretty cool.
Or the tattoo came in a strip of bubble gum.
I loved getting a tattoo on a strip of bubble gum. There's nothing more upsetting. Weren't they great? The bubble gum was like chewing glass, but weren't you sad if you messed up the tattoo and it didn't quite sit right, or it tore or something?
Yeah, that sucked. It's like now I have to get rid of it.
Yeah. Now I've got the song Sledgehammer stuck in my head. Turn it into a cricket bat and he's a true blue Aussie mate. All he needs is a cricket bag. Phil knows all about that. Sorry, Phil. Let's have a look at the file card and let's see if he's an Aussie. What are we thinking so far?
I don't think so. I don't think he's an Aussie. He's hockey paraphernalia. I could be wrong.
Sadly, he is from Michigan. As WJ mentioned earlier, he is from Michigan. You're right. We were going to get there eventually. If you've made it this far and haven't tuned off after seeing the Jacko Jackson commercial, do please hit that like button. I do appreciate it. Also, I do appreciate it if I can get my words out. Also, Nate, your links are in the description as well, so people can go in and tune in on your channel as well. So don't forget to do that as well.
Please, I need the views.
Thongs, a.k.a. Jandals. I only figured out that thongs were jandals about maybe a year or two ago. I had no idea it was before then. His real name is Donald. So don't call him that to his face. And he's from Michigan. Now, how do you feel about reading this one out?
I can read. I'm the best at reading.
Perfect. One of us has to.
Arrest record: speeding, reckless endangerment, littering, assault, grand theft auto. What's that? Usury? I'm
going to Google that while you keep reading.
Yeah. Felony, spitting, petty bribery, passing stop school buses at high speeds, and exposing himself to a puppet.
I had to look up for a second. All right. I'm going to look up. We'll see what usury is. Usury. It means the practice of lending money at unreasonably high rates of interest.
There you go.
We're learning something. Definitely not a hammer card. No, it's not hammer time. Carry on.
Carrying on. Okay. When Road Pig was born, the doctor held him up and said, "This is the ugliest looking baby I have ever seen." Oh, I feel so bad for saying that about the guy I used to work with now.
Was his name Donald?
I won't say.
Okay, fair enough.
He was expelled from kindergarten for milk money extortion and dishonorably discharged from Cub Scouts. After being kicked out of a low-life outlaw gang for smelling worse than was acceptable by even their standards, he joined the Dreadnoks as a probationary member. They're having a hard time making up their minds about this one.
I wonder if they ever let him in full time.
Yeah. Maybe we'll find out one day. Ugly, they banned him from football games because he stopped the clock. His mother had to tie a pork chop around his neck so the dog would play with it. He went to visit the Empire State Building and he got strafed. I'll tell you, beauty may be skin deep, but ugly goes clean to the bone. They're so mean.
That is so mean. I'd be a pretty bad guy too if that's how I grew up. Loan Shark, he's his own leg breaker. He comes with his own leg breaker. He had to Google it. It's a Google. Yeah. Coldest fine card. I wonder if he means coolest file card. I thought so. My friend Nathan loves this figure. How are you, Nathan Zazel, this evening? I'm well, thanks, bud. You know what? I love this figure too.
Yeah, it's cool. I dig it.
There were a few. I think what I'll do is I'll start leaning into the Street Fighter stuff at a later date so that we can take a proper look at them. We had a quick look at Balrog last time, and we were looking at Big Boa. They did use the body of this figure for a couple of the Mortal Kombat and the Street Fighter figures. So we'll circle back around to this figure at a later date. But he was bulky. He's a big boy.
Yeah, he'd be a bugger to get him to actually stand up, I reckon.
Right? Yeah. I think they come with file stands at this stage. Let's have a look inside his. Maybe. I mean, I don't see one. Maybe he didn't come with one, but he definitely needs one when he's all done up.
Oh yeah.
Such a great figure. Now, when they came to version 2, it's a little debatable of whether or not he's a good looking figure or not. But he's definitely changed up his look. Oh, come on. Get a mouse, Zazel. Here we are, version 2. Codename still Road Pig. Look at that guy. You thought he was ugly before. He got uglier. Yeah, are we going to show the modern versions? Nah. Maybe one day. Not today, though.
Is that the same as the one that's like in the corner that looks super orange? It's just...
Yes. They in person, they are very extremely orange.
Yeah, okay. Because like for that, it doesn't look too bad. He just looks like tanned and orange. Green and whatever. That kind of looks pretty cool. It's very. I'm guessing this one was in the 90s.
I'm not sure, but they. I don't know the date on this one. Someone tell me. The Lilith will know the date that this one came out. Wealth of knowledge.
Very, or at least very, very reminiscent of that 90s style when they were all bright and colorful. But I don't mind it. Like if it was like actually just looked like he was tanned. Yeah, he actually looks pretty cool. He doesn't have his cinder block or anything, though. He's got guns.
No. Yes, now he comes with guns. We'll have a look at his accessories in a moment. WJ with a heads up. He says he stole the gear from another Cobra on his Sonic Fighters card. We're getting to the card. We're getting there. They went into further details about his bad habits. All right, well, let's take a look. We'll get to the file card. WJ, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Yeah, the modern Road Pig is good. One day we'll get to the modern stuff. All right, let's take a look at the figure itself. But it does come with electric lights and 4 battle sounds. Do you want to hear what the battle sounds sound like?
Please, yes.
All right, let me just... Whoop. All right, let me know if you can hear this once I play it. All right, so just give me... Because I won't be able to see you. Just go, yep. All right.
Yep.
You ready?
I can hear it.
Classic sounds. Road Pig Sound Attack 1. Then we move on to Road Pig Sound Attack 2. And then Sound Attack 3. That one's my favorite. In fact, I'll play it again. That sounded a bit different that time. And Road Pig Attack Sound 4. Maybe that's his backpack. It blew up.
There is nothing more nostalgic than those little piezo speaker sounds.
Right? I love it. You can see the card itself is actually a lot wider and taller because it came with a bunch of stuff, including the electronic supersonic backpack on the Loo sound. I get it. Is that mainframe on his back? Yep. And he has the green stripe on this version. Road pig with guns? That's not my pig. All right, let's take a closer look at him. Boom! How does he carry that?
Super glue, I think.
I guess. I don't think he comes with the hand, like he still comes with the pads, but I don't think that he comes with the arm pad, and I don't think he comes with the rocket launcher, not the rocket launcher, the dart launcher or whatever that was on his wrist, but he does still have the darts. But, a giant light-up backpack makes up for that, and a big orange machine gun. And, yeah, it also doubles as, I don't know what that's supposed to be. What is it?
I'm not sure.
He ate some bean burritos.
Some sort of like double Tommy gun.
Yeah. So the backpacks were ridiculously large, but added so much playtime. Loved them. So this one, this backpack is my favorite of all the battle sound ones because it really does add some diorama stuff, right? You got a little computer set up there, some dials, some turn dials, whatever. The buttons on there don't seem too much out of place because it's like a computer console.
Yeah.
So I quite like it. As a backpack, it's a bit lame, but as a diorama, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Like as it sits there, like none of the backpacks look fantastic on. I don't think that I've seen so far, anyway. I've got the talking Cobra Commander one.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It just made, and that one's actually screwed on. So at least you can take that.
Yeah. The talking ones were stuck on, unfortunately. Not impossible to take off, but a pain nonetheless.
Yeah. Bit of work.
Should we take it? Now, have you got a preference out of the first two? Look, we'll bring back version 1. Put it on the Thunder Machine. Yeah, perfect. My son knows all about the Thunder Machine. I think he took off after I called him out. Sorry, Josh. I was just playing. So we've got version 1, and then we've got version 2. Have you got a preference out of the two so far?
Yeah, probably version 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, version 2 looks pretty cool. Like, yeah, as I said, when he's not like totally orange. But
it's probably
pretty cool. If I had been given that, I'd have had a lot of fun with it. No, it's cool. The weapons are pretty funky. It's good.
I think that it's a huge departure between the first and second one. I mean, hair color can change, skin color, I guess, can change if you.
It's just been. Well, if you eat too many carrots, you do turn orange.
This is Road Carrot. Even his accessories are orange. It's crazy. But shall we have a look at the file card?
Yes.
All right, let's do that.
Oh.
Still Donald. Yeah, they definitely made him uglier. Let's just take another look at the file card from version 1. I mean, he's not pretty, but he's still...
So kind of like just looks like a hard ass, but this is going,
yeah, that's rough.
They leaned into the pig on this one.
Yeah, they really did. All right, we'll give this one a read, and we'll see if there's anything that adds to it.
Okay. The only dreadnought to have ever gone through a probationary period, Road Pig is extremely obnoxious, even by dreadnought standards. This guy pushes the needle to red on the evil meter. I mean, we're talking low on the food chain and high on the nasty list. No one knows for sure how Road Pig obtained his intercooled incendiary burst flamethrower and his 0.5-inch blah, 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 fully automatic blowback machine gun. Suffice it to say, the guy he borrowed them from isn't around to talk about it anymore.
Oof.
Yeah, he's a naughty boy.
Killed someone.
Gross. You could say that. Road Pig doesn't drink orange soda, and eat nutritious and yummy chocolate-covered donuts like the other Dreadnoks. He subsists entirely on a diet of barbecue-flavored fried pork rinds, fast food burritos, frozen corn dogs, and stale baseball card bubble gum. Once a year, when he
Nice.
brushes his teeth, he has to use industrial tub cleaner instead of toothpaste. Like, at least he brushes his teeth eventually.
Right. He gets there eventually. That's right. It's a lot of words for a kid. You're right. But story was where it was at. Yeah, not a hammer card. But WJ knows his stuff though, because he knew already that someone carked it for Road Pig to get gunned up, so to speak. And yeah, maybe it was a little bit too much Fanta. I remember that book. This pic reminds you of the storybook about the boy whose face changed in the wind. You could show someone this and say, this is what happens when you make a face. It stays that way.
Yep.
So yeah, that is ugly by any standard. No offense to poor old Donald, but I just love it still. And I think other than Zartan, who got a ninja figure, I think Road Pig might be the only Dreadnok that got another version. So he must have come out of his probationary period, then be a full-fledged Dreadnok. Although it says Cobra on the symbol, and I wonder if the first one said Dreadnok under it. I can't remember. Let's go back. It just says the enemy. Okay. Dreadnok's the enemy up the top there. And then just says the enemy on the file card in Dreadnok. And here, no sign of Dreadnok on the front except for the little text.
Cobra.
And then Cobra there. But I like him. I like him a lot. I like him so much that I used him as a different character because I wanted to do a tag team. I wanted to do a tag team in the same vein of the Road Warriors / Legion of Doom and call them the Road Pigs and have both of them be there. But I like him, and I'm not saying necessarily that I like him more, but I like them both.
Yeah.
This guy's like relatively normal looking for a Road Pig, but I kind of like this guy.
Yeah, they do the orange and the green just pops, Yeah, I think he's cool.
So
and,
there's
your video totally had me thinking that there was like actual, it had a twin gimmick,
right?
Character. Yeah.
So I was the Lilith here brings up a good point, and they sent me a picture of this one which I forgot. My apologies. Let me just find it. They did send me. I'll just go solo for a sec. Oh, actually, I won't go solo. I'll just remove this. Whoop. And see if I can find this picture that they sent me, because there was a cancelled 95 Road Pig Ninja Force figure. If I could just get this to load. All right, check this out. They came out with, oh god, this is why I should have loaded it on. This was a third version they were going to bring out in Ninja Force. And they've given him a third style hairstyle. So this was going to be a ninja version, a ninja Road Pig.
Does not strike me as a stealthy boy. Just
no, skunky maybe. He's leaning into that. He's leaning into that smell by making himself look like a skunk. But nothing. Oh, where did I go? Bring it on back. But there's something about dang, a stealthy Road Pig. Yeah, right. Skunk stripe hair. Exactly. Skunk pig. That's what I'm saying. Probably going to have chopping action with swords. Hey, Kiwi's in the house. How are you, Kiwi? Yo, Joe. We're doing Dreadnok Talk today. We're trying to figure out whether or not we have a preference of a V1 and V2. Take it away, Nate.
I reckon V1, mainly because he looks like a Mad Max character.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. But
it's a very close finish. I think his colors just pop. It's great.
I will say that I'm glad that they kept the shoulder pads because I think it really does help to add that. Not that he needs extra bulk, but it really does help to bulk him out even more. Like it makes him a menacing, even more so, a menacing powerhouse.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna switch up from having because let's face it, right? As cool as having a wrist-mounted launcher, like a dart launcher or an arrow launcher or a crossbow, whatever you want to call it, it's a little bit tiny. It's on the tiny side for Road Pig, right? Now the cinder block, perfectly manly, love it. But that little wrist thing, I don't know, it doesn't really scream tough guy, right? But if you're going to give him any sort of firearms, a machine gun, yeah, whatever, that's fine. But this, like, what did you call it? A double barrel,
like a double Tommy gun or something,
right?
Yeah,
Tommy gun. Yeah.
I don't know, or is that this? Or did it say something about having a flamethrower? Maybe that's the flamethrower.
Right. Yeah. They needed to make the artwork bigger in V2. Yeah, I mean, you can only put so much ugly on there, though. But yeah, that is. In fact, I'd wish that they had put that onto the card art. That gun, it is so unique. It's so cool.
Yeah, cool.
It's orange, but whatever. But the backpack as well. I mean, maybe not well suited for Road Pig. Like, what is he doing with it?
Yeah,
he wouldn't know how to use it.
Yeah, he doesn't strike me as someone who's like using a computer all the time. But
yeah, that's a good point, W. Good point, WJ. But yeah, I feel like this doesn't really suit the character, but I love that. Like I said, it's my favorite version of the backpacks, and we'll see a lot more backpacks as we go through. And maybe we'll do a tally on which backpacks work well. Doesn't work well with him, but damn, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. I like it.
But I don't know. Is it as cool as a cinder block?
See, cinder blocks can break computers, so no.
That's how I measure accessories. Can one destroy the other?
Yeah, that's how I chose my new iPhone.
Both V1 and V2 have called back to Mad Max. Yes, I agree. And the double barrel machine gun in Road Warrior. Yep, perfect. I do think, which is another reason why these guys work in tandem as two different characters. I use them as brothers, but the reason why I think they work really well is because they are so Mad Max-like, and they do look different. They're different enough.
You know what's better than them being brothers is that they're those rare like doppelgangers.
Yeah.
On an airplane.
Yes. I agree. Yeah, that'd be even better. Like they're like, do I know you? You look familiar. Some complain about neon colors. I always liked them because it was easier to find the weapons when you dropped them. True, absolutely true. If you dropped this wrist launcher, then you might lose it. But there's no way anyone ever lost any of these accessories. No way.
Yeah, you should try the ones from Camo Troopers.
Cinderblock was such a new-looking weapon. Now, I will say this, right? I would say a Cinderblock stick is more violent than a machine gun. In obviously, a machine gun is pretty violent, but it's it's a lot more bloodier. It's a lot more confrontational, and you get this hand-to-hand. I love that car. How good is that? I need to get one. Have you seen those, Nate? Have you seen the Leonard Badland cars?
No, I haven't.
I'll get a picture of it next time, and I'll show you, or I'll send you a picture of it. It's so good, and I've been tempted to get them so many times.
What's
that?
Are they a new thing or an old thing?
No, it's a new thing. You can get them in most toy stores now. I saw them in a Toy World. Yeah. Delmas Dugan, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new do please leave a like, and don't forget that Nate, his channel is in the description if you want to go check him out as well. If you're here, then I don't know why you wouldn't want to be there too. Smart enough to use computers. Yeah, I'm only just. I'm road pig level computer illiterate. Like I have one, but I have no idea what I'm doing. I need a mouse. It has like it's a laptop, and it has one of those, what's the center thing called? It's like you just sort of touch it, and it figures out where you are. The pad, touch pad.
Oh yeah, trackpad or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, but it's not as easy as having a mouse.
It's like maybe he doesn't.
Thanks.
I was just saying, maybe he doesn't know how to use the computer. Maybe he's just going to throw it at someone.
He's looking for a big enough stick to attach it to. Oh man, how many hits can you get from a single cinder block on a stick though? Flamethrower is a better weapon. Is the other one a flamethrower? Are either of these a flamethrower? What do the file cards say they want?
It says so on the card, but
it was too. Incendiary burst flamethrower. Which one is that? Which one is the flamethrower?
I think it's supposed that. I think that someone commented that it was based on the double gun from Mad Max or something.
Right.
So maybe they've gone. Nobody's going to know what that is, so
Yeah.
we'll call it flamethrower.
Maybe they're incendiary rounds. And because Road Pig can't say incendiary, and I barely can, he just calls it a flamethrower. It just throws flame bullets. I think that's what it is. Yeah, Dreadnought did already have torch. I don't need another one. 2 men enter the Thunderdome. 1 shall leave. It's Road Pig versus Sarge. Who do you think is going to win that?
You'd have to watch the SWC to find that out, I think.
Oh, that's a good plug. Thanks, Nate. Yeah, do check that out. Find out. Sarge went up against 2 Road Pigs. How did it go? The long one is the flamethrower. Even on the card art has flames. Have I even looked at the card art, Nate? Have we missed it? Yeah. But what?
That just looks like the flash from Gunfire.
It kind of looks like, you know what it is? I think someone drew that, and it's supposed to be flash fire from the machine gun, and they go, "Oh, it's a flamethrower."
Yeah.
And they wrote that into the bio.
All the flame is kept in that little magazine underneath. It's just, oops, I'm out of fire. Quick, here's more.
Add more. Sarge don't lose ever. I agree. So the gun is from Road Warrior. It was the mount on the car. Yeah, but that wasn't a. It's not muzzle flash. I think it is muzzle flash, but I think that whoever wrote the card art was like, that must be a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Road Pig reminds me of my mate's Aunt Zella back in the days. Did you work with Zella, Nate? Is that who it is?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
So Delmas, we were saying it actually looks like an Aussie named. What did we say his name was again?
Yeah.
Mark something. Why do I keep forgetting names? It looks like an Aussie footballer from back in the day. Yeah, I don't think this is a flamethrower. I think they just messed up. But apparently the 4 sonic sounds was a commando rifle, a laser pistol, a flamethrower, and a machine gun. Which one? Jacko Jackson. Thank you. Someone's been paying attention. Thank you. Mark Jacko Jackson. Planet Decepticonicus, thank you. I don't know why it is that I can't get names in my head right when I go live. Dame Edna joined the Dreadnoks? I'd believe it. I believe it.
I haven't seen the laser pistol.
There isn't one. It comes with a stand. I can tell that. And he's wearing a glove. I don't think the other one wore a glove. Oh, of course I didn't have one. Yeah, he did. Okay, they both have a glove on. But of course, both images sort of obscured the glove. Yeah, he's got a glove, black glove, and I guess a black glove again. When you got a good thing going, keep it going.
Yeah.
But I don't remember which sound was the flamethrower.
Yeah.
Should we go one more time with the sounds?
Maybe it was supposed to be the last one, but it's also kind of just like an explosion.
All right, let's find out. Let's figure it out. All right. This one's definitely not a flamethrower. You know what?
Laser pistol.
No, that's a hungry bird.
Yeah.
That's a little baby bird. What's this one? Classic. That's not a flamethrower, though, surely.
No.
This one's more like maybe a pump action. Classic. Love this one. Classic. And yeah, I suppose.
That's going to be the flamethrower.
All right, that'll be it. That'll be the flamethrower. Fine. Lyrebird. Yeah. Same here. I get my names mixed up when I go live. I get everything mixed up. Yeah, it was definitely the last one. Both got a jock strap. Yeah, well, when you're carrying around a cinder block, you need a little bit of protection.
Ain't broke, don't fix it.
Made Zazel an audio version of Rogue Pig profile. Sent you on Google Drive. It's there now. Sounds cool. Okay, I'll see if I can get it. One moment, please. We do this live. You can download it off my drive. Okay, here we go. Give me one moment, please. Let's see if this works. All right, hang on. Where's testing? Where's my mic? All right, I don't know where it is, but let's play. Play.
Codename Road Pig Dreadnought file, named DeLuca Donald Birthplace, Goblu, Michigan. The only dreadnought to have ever gone through a probationary period, Road Pig is extremely obnoxious even by dreadnought standards. This guy pushes the needle to red on the evil meter. I mean, we're talking low on the food chain and high on the nasty list. No one knows for sure how Road Pig obtained his inner-cooled incendiary burst flamethrower and 45-inch XM1999A10 fully automatic blowback machine gun. Suffice it to say the guy he borrowed them from isn't around to talk about it anymore. Gross. You could say that. Road Pig doesn't drink orange soda and eat nutritious and yummy chocolate-covered donuts like the other dreadnoughts. He subsists entirely on a diet of barbecue-flavored fried pork rinds, fast food burritos, frozen corn dogs, and stale baseball card bubblegum. Once a year, when he brushes his teeth, he has to use industrial tub cleaner instead of toothpaste.
Yep. Love it. Did you hear that okay?
Yep.
I don't know where the microphone is on this thing. But Johnny, thanks for putting that together, bud.
I mean,
Johnny,
I'm pretty sure I did it better, but not everyone can have such a masculine and dignified voice as me.
I appreciate it though, Johnny. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Who's going to wear that huge battle axe? Since Road Pig is carrying a huge computer now. Yeah, I think he'll just leave it in the Thunder Machine, or maybe. I think I know what it is. Right? This is not a working computer. I think his cinder block's inside it. I think that he's hiding it in there.
Yeah.
It's like it's a cover.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's just ripped all the guts out.
Nate did it better. But I appreciate the effort, Johnny. I appreciate the effort.
That was cool.
Thank you for it. It was a nice narration. Thank you. It is awesome. Pretty soon we'll be able to just run the show with AI. If Johnny can just put together this whole show for us, that'll be great.
Yeah.
So would you say then that this figure now rings a bell?
He definitely does ring a bell.
And you know what they say?
Now we know.
Because knowing is half the battle.
Space Commando.
Space Commando.
Space Commando. Thank you, Space Commander, for that. Thank you, Nate, for sitting down and hanging out with me talking about Road Pig. The more I look at this Road Pig, the more I love it.
Yeah, he's cool. I dig it.
I think later on there were actually, I think a Street Fighter. Correct me if I'm wrong. Someone in the chat. Does this ring a bell to anyone in the chat? Was there a Street Fighter figure that also utilized these pads? I think there was. I think it was M. Bison that also used these pads. I think so. But we'll also check out the Street Fighter ones. If that's something that interests you, Nate, we could look at some Street Fighter 2 in the future.
Absolutely.
And by saying Street Fighter 2, I meant to say Street Fighter as well, but Street Fighter 2 also works because they were Street Fighter 2 figures.
Yeah, the name of the game should have also just been Street Fighter 2 also.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Yes, there was. I think Beer Fridge was the second version of the refrigerator Perry. Are you familiar with the fridge?
I am not.
Did Blanca use Rhodes Pig's torso? Yes, and Zangief, correct. So when we get around to looking at the Street Fighter figures, Nate, you're going to see this body utilized on a few different occasions, and some of them I think work even better than this one. However, there is at least one wackier color that they used, maybe two more wackier colors that they used with this body in mind. So if you thought orange was the weirdest, you wait until you see some Street Fighter coming up. You're going to see at least two more color variations that are a bit weird and wacky. Space Commander knows a lot about the fridge. I think Space Commander knows a lot more than he says he does, but he definitely was under the impression that the fridge was a Arctic G.I. Joe. He claims it's a joke, though. He claims he knew all along it wasn't. But Nate, this was a fun hangout. Thanks again. I believe that the next time we hang out, there might be a little bit of a box opening happening.
Yeah, possibly, if the postage service does its thing.
If it does, I'll let you know. Other than that, have you got anything else coming up that we should be tuning in for?
No, not at this point. I've just been away, and so now I got to pick a new project. So, yeah, it's going to be fun.
Oh, look at that. All right, I've got an idea. Now, you can say no to this, and I have a feeling you're going to say no.
No.
See ya, Kiwi. Thanks for staying up and watching it with us. Thank you, Planet Decepticonicus. We're going to head off in a moment, but I think next time each of us should be sporting a version of Road Pig's hair. I'll let you pick which one. You can either go white with the red stripe, or you can go orange with the green stripe, or none.
I'm going to pass.
Okay, fair enough. That's probably a good choice. I wouldn't be able to pick, and I think it's mostly because you didn't have to pick between the two.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Now we're gonna leave it there, but I wanna try and gauge with the repaints. What colors do you think that they also utilized that torso in? They did.
Well, someone said Blanco, and I think he was green.
I
think that they would have used that in green.
Yes, definitely.
But the other is a mystery.
Well, maybe because we've looked at a G.I. Joe, and we've looked at a Cobra, and we've looked at a Dreadnought. Maybe next time we'll have a look at a Street Fighter character. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
That sounds good to me too. Thanks. Keep on collecting. Cool catch up, guys. Mermat, hope to see you soon. Yeah, cool. Check out Keep on Collecting. I did a live stream recently. We gave up our games night so that he could have his live stream. But I think his would have been more entertaining. I did catch it as long as I could before I had to go to work. Blue Blanca. Yeah. Spoiler alert. It's blue. But we're gonna have a look at a Street Fighter figure. I'm not sure which one yet. Could be Blanca. I'm not sure. Unless you got someone that you feel like you might want to personally have a look at.
So I'd say surprise me. I've seen the Blanca one, and he was like my favorite character in Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen it, so he definitely rings a bell. So surprise me.
Okay, Blanca it is. Yo, Joe, I missed the show. How are you, Rob Vegas? I did check out your recent video. Did Transformers. Was not expecting that. It was more than meets the eye. But that is us. That is us. That is definitely us. That is us for today. Thank you, Nate. It's always a pleasure. You let me ramble on while you sit there and have to hear it. Raptor would be interesting. Yeah, we'll circle back around. after a Street Fighter episode. Thanks to everyone that showed up into the chat. Thank you for Johnny for sending us that audio. Thank you, Nate, for reading out those file cards for me and hanging out so we can just talk Joe. Thanks to 3D Joes for the images provided. Check out Nate in the description so you can go and check out what he's been up to. Thank you, Space Commander, for doing that awesome Knowing Us After Battle promo for us. And I guess that's it from me and you, Nate. Thank you very much. Yo, Joe.
Me, Yo, Joe.
Full force.
Full force.
Hey man, no strangers here. These times I hold them dear. Doors open, so come on in. Yeah, that was great. Let's do it again. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we hit pause and then hit rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly. Do you wanna come over? Just like the old times, we hit pause and then hit rewind. You wanna come over? Just like the old days, and we'll watch the time just fly.
Because knowing is half the battle.
Space Commander.
In one of these, and in one of these. One of these lasts 20% longer than a Duracell. Two rights, the extraordinary energizer. In one of these lasts 20% longer than a Duracell. Two rights, the extraordinary energizer. It'll surprise ya.
Independent tests prove Energizer lasts 20% longer than Duracell.
Prove it for yourself. Energizer. Oi!